Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Mature black women knew the game. Yeah, I was out and about today, I was at this store buying some clothes, right? And nothing much, Rom got it kind of look good. Well, maybe a little bit, right? And while I was shopping, I'm in the men's section of this store. This older black woman came up, right? And she was like real sweet and pleasant, saying, "Yeah, how you doing, young man?" I was like, "I'm fine, ma'am. I'm having a good day today." And she said, "Yeah, God is good today. I'm looking for some stuff for my man," right? And she was talking and stuff. Turns out she'd been married 60 years. But while she was talking, she would be like baby and honey and all of that, right? And when she left, she got what she had to for a man. And one thing she said, it struck me. She said, her man is so good, and she had to take care of and make sure he looked right and everything for something that was coming up, right? But it wasn't so much she was doing that, but I was just peeping just her mannerism, how she carried herself, and also her whole demeanor. She was just very happy. I mean, not only married 60 years, but happily married. Now, I don't know what type of trials and tribulations they might have went through, but whatever the case, you can look at somebody and tell life's been good to them. She was in great shape. I mean, the only thing that really kind of showed her age was her hair. It was gray, but she was just real pleasant. But I know what I really peeped though was how she made me feel, because she kind of disarmed me, right? And it was kind of like that. That was like she showed that old black woman's game, right? Of how they would kind of disarm men. Now I'm just going to be raw with it. I don't care who gets mad. It's a lost art among the overall black woman community. Overall. It's still pockets of it. You still have some sisters who got that kind of charm. But overall, it's been lost. Because it actually made me think about some other older women who had it. I remember back in the day, I worked at this place, and they had a lot of young men. A few of them were true to the game thugs. But we had this older sister. She was in her 50s, and oh man, shoot, we used to want to shake her husband's hand, cause she come in there. She was put together. She always dressed right, very feminine. She always came in with a smile, y'all. Always, but she would use that old school charm on all the young brothers there to get them, so she ain't had to lift anything or do any real work, and she wasn't conning them or anything or trying to get over on them. It was like they were rushing to do shit for her. But she come in, it's like, "Hey, how y'all nice young men doing today?" And it was like, boom, it just made brothers feel good. And then I even thought about, I'm going back in time, because, that one thing at the store triggered a lot, right? I thought about this one time back when I was in the 8th grade, right? And I was doing what I was 13 or 14, I can't even remember. But, when you're 13, 14, and you're a young male, you don't have any damn sense. So, my ass was, at the time I was hooking school, right? There were just days I just didn't feel like showing up, and I've just been like, nah, I don't feel like it. And I probably forged like those letters you had to take back to school anyway. So it was Ron might have had some fracturing of some things in the past. Anyway, right, I did what any young dude doing hooking school would do. I did a very logical thing. I went to visit a friend at another school. And I'm walking through the hallways like I belong there and whatnot. And I remember this sister, and she turned out to be the principal of the school, right? Real fine. Oh my goodness. Now she ain't yell at me or anything. She came up to me because she knew I ain't belong there. And she put her arms around me. I put my arms around her waist. And so we started chopping it up, right? Just talking. She was asking me. She was being all sweet and stuff. Next thing you know, my ass is standing outside, right? And this big door slammed behind me, right? And I was like, damn. Because I cursed like a sailor back then anyway. But I was like, man, she put one over on me. But I like how she did it, because she could have been like, get out my school, I'll call the police, or I'll get security. Well, they ain't really have security in schools then. But, she could have did 1,000 things, but she just used that charm. And I'm saying that because, and I know some sisters will get mad I'm saying this, but I gotta say it. We gotta start calling out some things. Too many women don't use their feminine charms with a man when they're dealing with him. They try to interact with him as if they're a man. They try to yell at him, scream at him, try to put him down to get him to do what she wants. Now I want y'all to think about the logic of it. You tell somebody they ain't shit. All right, let's just be raw with you. Tell somebody they ain't shit, they ain't doing anything with their lives, but yet you want that same person to find you beautiful, to find you fine, and to respect you. Seriously, that's some dumb ass shit. It's like women wondering why they having so much trouble with men. I'm just like, if you take a dog, I'm saying an actual dog, right? The four-legged animal dog, and you yell at it all the time and don't show it any love, it's eventually going to run away. It's eventually going to leave, or might do some little shit like pee in your bed or something. A lot of women don't get that one point with men, period. And it's too much of it in the black community. Too many women think there's some virtue in fussing with a man. Now, I don't know, it could be 1,000 reasons. They think it's cool. Their peers did it. They seen their mother do it. But here's my bottom line with that. No one can show me how that's ever worked. I challenge somebody to show me how that type of behavior has worked in changing any black man's behavior, how that has gotten respect for a black woman from a black man. I'll wait. Please show me links, pictures, tell me a story, convince me. And I'm dead serious. Because the shit don't work. Now, you get these women, they come up, they show some love to the men. Shoot, the men bending over backwards. I've known some brothers who would call every single black woman they met a bitch, but then there's some women they don't mess with. They be like, man, she the best person. They do 180s and stuff. They be like perfect gentlemen for them. And I'm just like, you look at it, it's like, what they doing at these other ones? Oh, they were just being nice to them. They showing them some love. I mean, if you go in hoods, you go in any hood, right? Any hood, you can go pick any hood in America. It could be the roughest place where there's gangs and boys are out of control, and they even safe from some elders to walk down the street in some places. There's always that one woman, though, that none of them mess with. In fact, they'll bypass it. Sometimes that woman will mess with them. I had a friend, he said his grandmother would do that to local thugs. You didn't go there and tip their hat off, mess with them and stuff, but she was showing them love, though. That's why she could do it. She didn't do it out of malice or anything, but they knew that she showed them love. She was nice to them. At the same time, they wouldn't let anybody come near. I remember in D.C., and for the people in D.C., this was when I was working on a summer job in Kenilworth-Parkside. I mean, literally cleaning up the damn place, right? There was one woman's house. Like, most of the place looked dilapidated at the time. I don't know what it looked like now. But this one woman's house looked like a damn oasis. It had flowers planted, all that. And you could tell dudes didn't want to go there with her. But I found out a little bit about the woman. She was just the one who was friendly with everybody. She put out some food for them. They'd be playing in the streets or something. Sometimes she like talk to him, kind of counsel him sometimes. I've seen that happen. Shoot, I seen it happen with my own mother when I was little before she got sick. Oh, shoot, guys in the neighborhood, shoot, she was teaching like all these dudes in the neighborhood Bible study and stuff. But she was just being nice. She was just using that old charm. So you understand, on a deep level, there's two things that a woman can use to really get a man. The sexual charms are obvious, but kind of a nurturing, being nice charm actually helps. In fact, I would say a nurturing nature is actually more powerful than a sexual nature, because the sexual thing wears off at a while. But someone who got a nurturing nature, and that don't mean she's mothering them. Let's understand what nurturing means. That don't mean it's just like you kind of accepting the person. You showing some real love to the person. And sometimes that love can be tough love. It ain't always like sweetness and light. But if a dude feel like a woman really got his best interest, she could say, look, you fucking up, dude. What the hell is wrong with you? I want you to get back out here and do right. They'll go ahead and do it. But it gotta be a sincere thing. See, too many women, they want it. Or they'll get on the man, but they don't have nothing to do with any love. It's basically fulfilling their own needs. And I thought about it, and me, I'm really a very discerning person, because I got serious trust issues. So every time somebody say two words to me, I'm like thinking about the motive already. But when I meet women who really got that energy, it's something. It's just peaceful. And I think that's the word, just peaceful. It brings a sense of peace to a man. And that's what any woman who really wants a man needs to bring him a sense of peace. And I don't mean piece of pussy. And I did a video on this before. But it's just that, just make them feel good. Just make them feel good. Just say, make them feel loved. And that needs to come back. And for the women hearing this, don't get mad I'm saying this. Do not get mad I'm saying this. Saying I ain't gonna tell you what you want to hear, and then you still, a year later, you still having trouble with men. I'll let other people do that. I'm gonna tell you the real thing, and I'm gonna be truthful to you. Cause they ain't, what? Somebody telling you what you want to hear, they don't really care about you. They just want your money or something. I'm just saying, look. Because I've said in several videos, I get a lot of support from women. I get a lot of women hitting me up privately. And, and there's something, a lot of brothers can't, have said this, articulated, or sometimes they can't. Well, I'm articulating it. I'm like, shoot, you want that man? Employ those feminine charms, compliment the dude, something. Make him feel good. Heck, when I talk about imprinting, people know I talk a lot about imprinting. Well, see, the men, hey, I've said it in a video. A lot of people haven't focused on that part. Men get imprinted too, and not sexually. Men get imprinted more in their mind by the woman who accepts or rejects them. And a lot of times, just accepting a man, and let me be clear on that acceptance, sisters, for the women listening, right? It don't mean if he's just trifling, doing some bad shit, that don't mean you have to be like, oh baby, it's all. No. If he's just a danger, you probably wise to stay away. But if it's some dude working hard, trying some shit, damn, little encouragement, Even if he approaching you and you're not interested, sometimes you can let a dude down in such a way that he feel good about it. I read this thing one time. This statement, it was called Irish diplomacy. And it was said it was a way of telling somebody go to hell. It was telling somebody to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip. So you can, and somebody that was really just tack. You can do that. You ladies, look, here's the bottom line. And this, I probably, it's funny. Every time I do a video, I always say, yeah, that's another video. Some of my commenters call me out on it and say, Ron, you're always saying that, so you got to go do that video. But seriously, though, it's, women can really hook a man just off that charm. I mean, you could really, really hook a man just off that charm. Just off that, just making him feel good. Right? You can really do it. And because the masculine thing, the argumentative thing, the try to put him down thing, to say he ain't shit thing, I mean, like I said, bottom line, show me how that's actually worked. Provide some example of some functional relationship where that's actually worked. And it hasn't. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.